All right, ladies and welcome back to another DC Worlds Collide video. This is Mr.Squarrel, and I'm so happy to have you here. So real quick, this is the second time I'm recording this video because the first time it got corrupted. So we're going to look at a quick thing, let me pause, and we're going to look at, so they had released earlier today a Guy Gardner's kit. Actually, it's already technically in the game, but they did go over it here. So I'm going to run through his kit real quick. I want to run through the news that they released. I want to make sure that you guys have up-to-date information that's going on with this game. It was kind of hidden. They did send an in-game mail too about this. So let's read through this. Bravado, bowl cuts, beatdowns, Green Lantern Guy. DC is heading to the DC World Collide to prove that he's the best Lantern in the Corps. He will be available on July 21st in early access, and then the event Mother Box starting July 24th. So I don't know what they mean by early access for him. I'm wondering if we get like a mercenary version of him and we can just test him out. I don't know how that would work, but we'll see. So what does he actually do? So Green Lantern Guy DCU is an epic mighty DPS. So he is a epic red DPS hero with the ability to attack multiple times in a single turn. But Guy picks a fight with your biggest threat and doesn't let up until he has been knocked out. So he is a single target damager. His ultimate ability, Slugger Stomp, targets the enemy across from him, dealing massive damage. So ultimate. Okay, so it just does a lot of damage, and it's just whoever's right across from him. Hitting a opponent with 50% health or higher makes the attack guaranteed critical hit. His team gains an extra ultimate if the if the attack defeats his enemy. So in other words, if he beats the if the person hitting a opponent with 50% or higher makes the attack, so he can do a lot of damage to characters that have a lot of HP. But here's the thing about this: if you're going up against teams that are very tanky, this might be good. It also might not be the best because then you're just not doing a lot of damage to a team that's very, very tanky. And he kind of loses his luster. We'll see, though. It depends on how much damage he's doing. Now, here's the thing. At higher levels, Guy applies a unique debuff to enemies by hits by his... At higher levels, Guy applies a unique debuff to enemies hit by his advanced attack, Interference. So, Interference is unique in that it targets the biggest bully on the field, or the opponent that has the highest attack. When Guy uses its ultimate ability, it will target whoever has the interference debuff. So in other words, you want him to use his ult after the advanced attack, because the advanced attack will go after the character with the highest attack. And then you can target the character on the team that is actually the biggest threat. And then here's the thing and the attack is guaranteed to crit no matter how much health the enemy has. So once he goes after this big attack enemy, high, low health, doesn't matter. They're going to get a crit hit from Guy. So Guy's ult is going to do an immense amount of damage. So the next point is, while other lanterns lend shields to allies, Guy is only looking out for himself. Anytime Guy takes damage to an enemy, he'll create a personal shield based on percentage damage dealt. So he only shields himself. He doesn't shield anyone else. Guy is a powerful DPS hero that can fit well in the back or front row. I think that's kind of interesting, front row. He works well with the rest of the Justice Gang. Interesting note, we don't have the other Justice Gang. We don't have Hawkgirl. We don't have Mr. Terrific. So I don't know what they mean by this line. Does that mean they're next? Who knows? Shield Team Synergy, I disagree. And then other lanterns, I disagree. So maybe I disagree. So here's the thing that I was thinking a lot about him. Let's also read his badge real quick, and then I'll go into him, and then I'll read the next point. Guy's badge increases the number of basic strikes 6, so he hits a lot. There's like a chance he can attack more, and then if he does a certain amount of attacks, it increases his ability to critical strike chance. So he's like wants to be hitting a character a lot. I think he can do a lot, like massive amount of single target damage, which is something this team is lacking. I'm contemplating, is he going to be better than Green Lantern Jess? That's the question I have. Is he better than her? Or Hal Jordan? I don't know. I'm really kind of struggling to figure that one out. We'll see. I need to think about this for a little bit. I also need to play with him to see what he feels like in game. But, so here's the thing. If we look at this, They're saying he's very good with a Justice Game. That's an interesting statement. We don't have the rest of Justice Game. Weird way to say that.
Yeah.
Shield team synergy and with other lanterns. So he's very good at doing single target damage. I think that's something that the Green Lantern team or the Shield team does struggle a little bit with, is doing single target damage. Not if you have Pandora, but it's not here or there. So they do kind of struggle at getting, like, bursting a character down. I think Guy will fill that gap for the team. He will be really good at just like powering through specific characters. Now, towards that end though, he's not giving shields to anyone else, which means for Lex, because Lex has a really unique interaction with Green Lantern Jess. Green Lantern Jess applies a very small shield to the whole team. Now, as you get more attack, it'll be a bigger shield, yada, yada, yada. But the thing is what does that do? Why is that so important? Is because her small shield is also giving everyone not only a small shield, it's giving them 12% damage reduction. That's a massive, because if she's on Lex Luthor's team, right? So when Hal Jordan is, he gets his enhanced basic attack, he then gives everyone a small shield. That small shield is giving everyone 12% damage reduction. Guy is only giving himself the damage reduction if he's on Lex Luthor's team. This is problematic interaction in terms of everyone, and then that shield synergy that is working out for the Lex Luthor. And so the thing that I'm thinking about right now is that my only reservation is that, or I think what would be interesting about Guy is that he is going to be able to target someone and bring them down very fast, if built very, very, very heavy attack and crit. He might not even need crit and just tons of attack. But there's a big but here. He's not helping the team unless there's one caveat, is because he gets a shield every time he deals damage. So let's just say he attacks like 6 times, right? If he attacks 6 times, is that 6 times that he is giving a shield? Because if that's 6 separate instances of an application of a shield, because then that technically means that Green Lantern Jess is getting 6 stacks to her passive, which is huge, right? That's as much as Green Lantern Hal Jordan. So, I mean, that could be real interesting. My reservation though, he's not buffing the rest of the team, and those small shields, because they keep getting applied over and over and over again, they do add up and they do make the team a lot tankier, which that's why I think Hal Jordan, Green Lantern Jess, and then Lex Luthor go so well together, because you're just having all these shields that keep getting applied, you keep getting that damage reduction, and that even gets further substantiated, which the thing I'm actually the most interested in, which is this new artifact that they just talked about. And so we're excited to share with an upcoming artifact that can only be wielded by Green Lanterns, which means Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Green Lantern Jess, not by Lex Luthor, by Guy. So here are some highlights of what this artifact will bring to the Green Lantern Corps. Each time the artifact bearer gains a shield, they gain 10% damage reduction and for 1 turn. So I think, based on the wording here, that this can stack. So that means that if you have multiple people applying multiple shields, like, let's just say Lex Luthor, Green Lantern Jess, and Hal Jordan, I think this thing is absolutely destructive with Hal Jordan, because Hal Jordan can give an enhanced basic attack and do a lot of this application all over the place. I think so. That's kind of really interesting the way that operates. But finally, additional shields will be added to the entire team the first time their ult is utilized. So why is this so important? That means that first time someone uses it, they're getting that shield will be enormous, and the first time, whatchamacallit, the first time we can say damage reduction each time you get a shield. So we're talking your first turn, one or the first couple turns, everyone's getting a shield every time someone ult. That's like nutty. That is truly nutty in terms of what's happening and the way it can mitigate so much damage if you're having, especially like a lot of shields, and on top of the shield that are already being applied because of their kits, we're talking massive shields, massive damage reduction, to the point where I'm a little worried that you can't even get past the damage the shield because there's gonna be so much damage reduction sitting on him. You get a damage amp. Now I doubt they're gonna, see, each time you see the wording here is very different. This is each time you get a shield, and this is just a 10% damage amp. It would be way too OP if they got each time they got a shield, because you were sitting at like multiple, like 30 or 40. Just owning this would give you 30-40% damage amp. And then this one's really interesting. It's first time they ult equals a shield. I think this is super cool. And it synergizes really well. Actually, I think the two people that really come to mind when I look at this artifact, well, there's three. It's Guy, Green Lantern Jess, and then finally John Stewart. Hal Jordan, maybe. I think there's better damage things, and I want Hal Jordan to become like the main DPSer. This could work really well with Guy. And I think they even make note of that. It works well with Guy. The other thing I want to note is that artifacts that are, this is, I think, an elite artifact, which means purple artifact, because there's only 3 levels. Epic artifacts have 4. So I'm pretty sure this will be easier to get. And that way they're saying, can be attached by all the Green Lanterns. You're going to want a lot of copies of this. So yeah, I think a lot of people aren't at the artifact state yet. It took me a hot minute to get there. And so I think this might not make sense to everyone right now. Just take note, it will be easier to get because it is a purple one. It goes yellow, which is the hardest epic. Second hardest is elite. You can get those more readily though. They do pop up relatively a little bit faster. It's like elites versus epics and the normal summons. Anyways, there's a video coming out. You'll see it. But the thing that I am curious about is just this early access thing. I don't really know what they mean by this. So the other thing to take note of is that he is going to be in the purple summon. That's what encrypted tokens are. Super encrypted are the yellows, encrypted are the purples. And then whenever you earn an epic character, that character's 30% chance to be Green Lantern Guy. So that just means he's going to have an increased rate in the purple summons. And then finally, after July 30th, he will be added to the weekly recruit mother box. So he'll be a summonable character in the general pool. So I'm really curious to see how this call kind of plays out. Again, sorry it is very late here. So I wanted to get this out as fast as possible. And hopefully this video does not get corrupted this time. Otherwise, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you the best of luck. Have a great day. And remember to always be patient with yourself. And failing is just your first attempt at learning. Have a great day, folks.